What is up, guys? This is Tcg Sam here, and in today's video I'm coming at you guys with an Adamancipator test / combo tutorial. And I know in the deck profile I hyped it up as like, oh, this definitely kills meta, and I'm actually going to show you guys why. Because of cards like Naturia Beast that you can make, or Naturia Barkion, you essentially have access to cards that completely destroy combo or trap deck single-handedly. So let me just show you guys how this deck can put up boards like that pretty consistently, and just show you guys like why this deck is still a contender, because you can still play through hand traps, play around hand traps, and just still set up these insane boards that don't let your opponent play. But yeah, let's just draw our first 5 cards and let's see what we can do. Opening hand is Adamancipator, Signs, Seeker, Signs, Guardian, and Reborn. So obviously this hinges completely on if we hit something with Seeker. If we whiff with Seeker, then our turn is pretty much over. So let's hope we don't. We activate Seeker, excavating our 5, and we do luckily hit our supplier, and essentially from here we're just off to the races. And then we're able to activate. I actually don't think we want to activate our supplier here, because we actually want to keep the Guardians in deck to hit later on. Later on in the turn, and we already have a Guardian hand, which makes it kind of awkward. So if we add another one, I really don't think it adds as much value. So I'm just gonna leave it. We can turn these two into a copy of our Raptite, and then from here I'm gonna activate Signs on our Seeker just so we stack the deck for our Raptite to ensure that we hit something. I think it's probably best if we do a Doki play. Depends if we want to play around Nibiru. If we want to play around Nibiru, obviously we stack our copy of our Guardian. So because then this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the Guardian would be the 5th summon. And then from there we can kind of still do stuff because we have all these reborn spells. But we're just gonna go all out. We're gonna stack our Doki to the top. Doesn't matter what the other cards are. We just care about hitting Doki. So yeah, hit Doki, put the rest on the bottom, and then from here, activating Doki, discarding the Guardian, bringing out a copy of our Analyzer or our Roxy's, depending on whichever one we want. I think we probably want Analyzer, just to give us another chance of hitting something. And the tuners are just really good. So we're actually gonna no, you know what? I think Analyzer is pretty good, because we have all these reborn spells to bring back level 4s, earth monsters that we can use for Naturia Beast later on, so I really don't think it matters. So activating Analyzer, excavating 5, we do hit Roxy's, which is very ideal. We get to put these back. And then, but the bad thing is actually we're kind of stuck with banishing really good cards. Like, we actually want all these cards in our hands. So I think what we're gonna have to do, I guess we can turn our Doki and our Seeker into a copy of Herald the Arclight. That's kind of bad because it leaves us with a bunch of vulnerable negates on the board, because the Naturia Beast itself isn't actually that big. So I feel like going for Herald isn't actually that good. But the thing with Doki is, like, it's just not doing much else on the board, so maybe it's better to just go Herald, honestly. So we're just gonna go Herald. Make sure not to clog up one of the extra monster zones in case those link zones, in case we draw a copy of our Parallel Exceed, which could be problematic actually, because we're actually not gonna be able to use it. And I guess you guys will see why if it comes up. We're gonna banish Signs, the less generic of the two. Draw a card. Draw Dropsies. So yeah, that's pretty bad, because we're gonna have to summon it from hand. So it essentially just nagged the card for no reason, which is just super unfortunate, but we can still make it work, because we can turn those two into a copy of Dodo, affect the Dropsies, gain 1,000 life points, and then we're gonna be summoning out our copy of Roxy's. I mean, it sucks, but these things do happen, so it is what it is. What can you really do? I'm gonna turn these into Granite, because I need to search a copy of our Analyzer. Analyzer not only gives us a chance to hit something else again, but also gives us the necessary tuner we need to make that Christian Hockey Fibrax for the level 4 monster that we want to bring off of it. To bring back to make a copy of our Naturia Beast off of our Recover. So we're gonna be special summoning the Researcher, excavating 5, and we hit Supplier. We want the level 4. Like, now we can use the effect, because we actually didn't use it earlier on, just for the extra advantage and slash the menial amount of follow-up that we do get. So yep, adding the Guardian here, and then from here we can turn these two into a copy of our Christian Hockey Fibrax. Christian Hockey Fibrax effect is going to summon our Recover from our deck. and recover is just really good, not only because it gets you to that Naturia beast, but it's also good because it acts as the additional extender monster that you can bring back for more link plays like Masquerena or extra fodder for Appaloosa. So in this case, we can turn the supplier and the recover into our Naturia beast, or our quote supposedly our auto win against certain decks. From here, activate the recover since we went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our opponent's gonna have more than 5 cards in their extra deck compared to ours, allowing to special summon, pay 2,000, special summon, recover. And then from here, you can turn the Halka Vibrax, recover. And then depending on which one you want to keep, I probably would have keep the Raptite. Because like in a way, Gallant is a little better of a follow-up, but Raptite acts as a DD Crow on our opponent's turn because we have a wind, giving us the extra negation that we may need. So turning those two into a copy of Appaloosa, and like we could just either end it here, or we could even go for a greedy. Like I think it's a little greedy, but if we're going all out, we Monster Reborn the Quackimera Guardian, End Phase Reveal Guardian. So what we're ending with is 1 interruption with DD Crow, technically 3 with Appaloosa, so that's 4 interruptions, 5 with Guardian, 6 with Herald the Arclight, and infinite with Naturia Beast. As long as we have cards in our deck, we definitely have more than 12 cards, so if opponent's hands all spells, we can still play through it. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's gonna do it for the first test hand. These test hands are kind of long because the deck is such a long-winded combo deck. So I'm only be showing 2 test hands in this video. But if you guys want to see more combos, more test hands, more duels, do let me know in the comments below. We're gonna be doing a hypothetical going second one. Of course, like I always say, it's purely hypothetical. We don't know what our opponent's gonna have. We don't know what our opponent's gonna negate. So it's just all completely hypothetical. And if I haven't mentioned it in my deck profile already, you can definitely just side in a copy of Naturia Barkion, replacing the Naturia Beast and siding out the copy of Recover in the deck when you're playing against a trap deck. It's just really, really good going second because essentially, like, it becomes like infinite negates for their back row. It's just really, really insane. The fact that this deck has access to some of the best synchro monsters in the game. But yeah, going second, let's see what we open. We open a pretty decent hand. We have Analyzer, a Hand Trap, Roxy, Signs. If I didn't mention in my deck profile also, these are just placeholder hand traps because they're in another deck of mine. I'm too lazy to move them around. But like, I think the optimal hand traps, if I didn't mention them already also, probably Ash, Ash Blossom, Phantasme, and then the third one of your choice. Maybe, if you want to be super risky, Dimensional Shifter, but otherwise, I would say a copy, I don't know, like Skullmeister, Bell, DD Crow, pretty decent. So yeah, we hand trap our opponent, drawing a Secret for turn, which is really, really good. This is super powerful because we get to activate Analyzer, special summoning it, special summoning our Secret as well. We want to get this out of the way in case our Analyzer gets stopped, then we won't have to choose between normal summoning Roxy's or Seeker. This way, what I'm going to do is activate Seeker first. Important to use a level 2 monster first. The reason I say that is because we may want to use it with Doki to make a Herald right away. We'd rather keep the level 4 on board. So we're going to exhaust the Seeker effect first. Activating 5, hitting the Guardian, which is super, super powerful. So now this turns off one of our opponent's interrupts or their hand traps. We're going to activate Analyzer here, see what we get. We actually get a Roxy's and a Doki, super powerful. This hand is just so ideal. We're going to summon Doki because we haven't even normal summoned yet with the Roxy's. So I feel like we can go Doki, discarding our Analyzer because it's not going to be helping us. I really don't think we even need to summon a copy of Roxy's because we can just normal summon it later on. So I'm going to summon Supplier, and Supplier's going to add Guardian. The reason I do that is because I need the card for Roxy's to banish later on. And then, like I mentioned earlier, you can go into a copy of Herald of the Arclight here, just as a way to play around, insurance to play around more of your opponent's interruptions. So maybe we want to do that. I don't know. In this case, let's just assume we don't. Like I said, it's purely hypothetical. We don't know what our opponent has. But I'm just going to show you guys what kind of power plays this deck can go. You can go Halka Vibrax effect. Assuming we didn't side out the Recover, I definitely would side this out going if we knew we were going second. But Recover is still pretty decent here because it allows us to act. It gives us those extra extenders at the very end to what's it called? To turn into an Axis Code Talker. Just gives us more link fodder to link climb. We are a little low on space, so I am going to be turning these two into a copy of our Dragite. No, I'm going to be turning these two into a copy. Okay, so my camera just fell and I had to pick it up. So right where we left off, I'm going to be overlaying these two for a copy of Granite, activating effective Granite to search out our Researcher. This way, when you get a turn where you burn through all 3 minor effects, this is a really good turn. Plus, we haven't even normal summoned yet, so we should be in a pretty good spot no matter what. We activate Researcher here since we have tons of rock monsters. Activating Researcher, activating 5, bringing out the Roxys. See, we don't even need to normal summon Roxys. We're just completely good here. Bringing out the Roxys. And then since we need to actually make space for our Roxy's play, like, yeah, this is the thing, like, we're actually running out of space, which is absolutely insane. We'll turn these 2 into a copy of our Nightmare Unicorn. We'll just shuffle away one of your opponent's cards, turn the Recover plus a Unicorn into a copy of Axis Code, and then from here we can go into our full combos as we have an arrow now. Activating the effect of Roxys, banish Roxys, draw 1. Effect of Roxys, summoning out Dropsies from the deck. And even though we don't actually need the fodder on the board, like, we can just turn these 2 into our Dodo. Effect of Dropsies, gain 1,000 special summon a level 4 Roxys from the deck. So, like, you can see how fast we're going. We just keep going, and we're just getting more and more attributes in the graveyard for our Axis Code Talker to do its dirty work. Turning these 2 into a copy of our Adamancipator Risen Raptite. Even if we miss off of this, it is completely okay because we have the signs to bring back whatever to make our copy of Borderload Savage. So activating Raptite effect, activating 5. We never miss. Apparently, we're gonna be summoning the Adamancipator Seeker to be going for the play I mentioned before. Here, Axis Code, it actually gives us it gives us 1, 2, 3 pops right now, 4 with Dodo Doodle Doo if we link it off. And the funny thing is, we actually don't even have the material. We don't even have the appropriate material that we want to link off. So, but we can just link these 4 into our copy of Appaloosa. So now we're still protected from hand traps from Nibiru as we were this entire time. Activating the effect of Adamancipator Signs. Like, it doesn't even matter. We can bring this back. Make our copy of Dragat. I go for Dragat instead of Borderload Savage because we actually want all the links in our graveyard. And here's where it gets crazy. Activate Axis Code Talker, banishing 1, 2, 3, 4 different attributes from our graveyard, popping 4 cards on the board, and then activating Dragite's effect, activating the top 5 cards of our deck, and we have the potential, after stacking our deck with Signs, which I forgot, that's actually huge. We just stack our deck with any single rock monster to guarantee at least 1 hit off a Dragite. So yeah, I played a little too fast. We definitely want to take advantage of the stacking that Signs allows us to do. Stack our copy of any rock monster, activate Dragite, activate, and we only hit 1 rock monster, but it doesn't matter. We just bounced the 1 card on the board. We popped 4, bounced 1, and if we just got rid of all their monsters, this is definitely game. 5,300 plus 3k plus a 2,400 body. And that is just most definitely game. So you can see there from what we did, we were able to OTK our opponent while being protected from Nibiru the entire time because we always had a monster effect on the board. So yeah, that's going to do it for me, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know what you thought in the comments below. A few closing thoughts. I know that this deck, while it can be really powerful, the problem it suffers from is it really has no follow-up. It has no follow-up once it goes through its entire combo. In a way, it's pretty glass cannon in that, unless your hand was incredibly broken to begin with, like triple minor, like double reborn spell or something, like maybe then you have a follow-up. But under normal circumstances, you actually don't really have follow-ups, so that is why I suggest you go for those auto-win conditions, like Naturia Beast, Naturia Barkion, where your opponent will just scoop it up since they have no out to it. So I feel like having those cards are just really good. You want to be going for those sort of auto-win cards that your opponent has no out to. So like against Shadalls or something, I doubt most of them are playing Shekanaga, so Super Poly doesn't do anything either to the Naturia Beast. So yeah, I feel like that's just really good. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me, guys. Like I said, once again, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know what you guys thought in the comments below, and that's gonna do it for me, guys. I will see you guys soon. Take care.